Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the hottest sports podcast in the South, the best damn sports podcast, period. This is. Yo, what is up, man? Welcome to an Overreaction Monday. You know what time it is. We're going to go over all the biggest games from the weekend, college football, NFL. This is your turn. This is your time as fans to call in and comment and tell me all the great things about your teams or how bad your team is currently. This is that day. It's Overreaction Monday where we go a bit crazy and overboard with our thought processes of our teams. Big news out of the NFL today. The Browns trade Josh Gordon to the Patriots. So there you have it again. The Patriots ahead of everybody else. But if they can get Josh Gordon to get his mind right, which has never seemed to be the case, this could be a huge, huge addition to the Patriots. So going forward, we'll see how that situation evolves. But man, what a huge weekend. In the NFL, college had a few good games, had some upsets as well in college. So we'll get into all of that stuff and a whole lot more. Hopefully you guys are calling in and commenting today, because again, this is Overreaction Monday. React to all the things that you saw over the weekend from Saturday and Sunday. Again, big news of the day: Josh Gordon traded to the Patriots, so for a 5th round pick. So we should see how that goes for the remainder of the season. Let's give you a quick update on baseball standings. Don't go anywhere. Just a quick update on the baseball standings, because we are in the middle of September and the season is almost over. We have some good pennant races going on in some spots. The AL has pretty much been decided. Boston has already clinched the playoff spot. They've won over 100 games. Cleveland has already clinched the division in the AL Central, and Houston leads Oakland by 4.5 games in the NL West. So those look like those are your lock. Those are your 4 playoff teams. So that is pretty much decided in the AL. In the NL, the Braves lead the East by 6.5 games. I have no idea how this happened. I'm so surprised, but pleasantly surprised at how well we played this season. Chicago leads the Brewers by 2.5 games in the Central. And the NL West, Colorado Rockies lead the Dodgers by only a half a game in tonight's play. So those are your MLB standings as we sit right now. But now it's time to kind of rewind and go back, all the way back. Let's go back to Saturday and talk about some of the biggest games, as well as some other games that happened from this weekend. I'm going to start with LSU at Auburn. We had mentioned that LSU had beaten Auburn 7 out of the last 10 times, so now make it 8 out of 11. What a win for Ed Orgeron and the Bayou Bengals to go down on the Plains and to get a win against a really good Auburn team, and trailed in the 4th quarter. So a comeback victory. Joe Burrow, he's not going to wire you with the stats, are not going to blow you out the window. I mean, 15 to 34, which is under 50%, but 249 yards passing, 1 TD, but no picks. I mean, he is just serviceable. He's competent enough. He can make some plays with his legs, but he just can't. He's good enough for what LSU needs. But on the other hand, Jerry Stidham, another big game, a chance to go out and prove yourself as one of the better players in the league, and he just stunk up the joint. 16 to 28, only a buck 98, 2 INTs, a crucial INT in the second half that he threw that kind of kept LSU in the game. LSU comes back, wins the game 22-21. So hats off to LSU and Ed Orgeron. I thought it was a huge win against the top 10 team. So that was one of the first big games of the weekend. Another big game, Oklahoma State against Boise State, ranked versus ranked game. Oklahoma State really impressed me. I picked Boise State to win this game, but Oklahoma State played really good defense. I mean, I know they give up 380 yards. They gave up 380 yards passing to Brett Ripken, but defensively they were able to hold Boise State to 34 yards rushing, and I thought that was the difference in the game. Taylor Cornelius, the quarterback from Oklahoma State, played really, really, really well in the win, 15-26 for 243, 1 TD. But he also ran for a couple big first downs that extended some drives. So I thought they were impressive, especially defensively, given how bad Oklahoma State has been defensively. So to hold Boise State to only 34 yards rushing is critical. Boise State had a chance to, this was like a prove it game, show me game for Boise State, and so it got to be very disappointing in the outcome, because it was a chance to prove yourself against a Power 5 opponent, and they got beat down. I mean, Oklahoma State put it on them, and again, I'm so surprised and so shocked at how well defensively Oklahoma State played, especially across the front. So Mike Gundy and his crew get a huge win against Boise State. The nightcap, Ohio State, the number 4 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes took on number 15 ranked TCU Horned Frogs in Dallas. So basically a home game for TCU. Game went back and forth, all the way into the fourth quarter before Ohio State seized control. Dwayne Haskins, who has stepped in for the venerable JT Barrett, who was at school seemingly forever, has played so well in his first 3 starts at Ohio State. 24-38, 344, 2 TDs. J.K. Dobbins rushed for 121 yards. For TCU, Sean Robinson played really well. No, he didn't play. I mean, he played okay. He played okay. 24-40 for 308, a TD, but 2 picks. TCU had almost 500 yards with the offense, so they did some things offensively, but the key to the game were turnovers. TCU had 3, Ohio State had none, and 2 of those turnovers directly led to 7 points for Ohio State, including a pick 6 by a big D lineman early in the fourth quarter. So Ohio State, who without Urban Meyer, that was the last game of his suspension, go 3-0, including a big time win on the road against a Power 5 opponent. And we'll talk more about the Big Ten in just a little bit. I can assure you, we'll talk a little bit more about the Big Ten. So huge win for Ohio State. Now looking forward to conference play. I mentioned the Big Ten. We had some upsets over the weekend, and none bigger than BYU knocking off Wisconsin 24-21. BYU was able to kind of control the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Taylor did have over 100 yards, but it wasn't a big rushing day for him. No TDs. So they managed to put the game on Alex Hornibrook's shoulders. And again, I keep telling you, people who will listen, that they're not built to come from behind, and they're not built to throw the ball an absorbent amount of times. Now, he only had 28 attempts, so that's not a ton, but the game was basically put in his hands, and he was not able to come up with the big plays. 18 of 28, only 190 yards, a pick. So he was not able to put them on his shoulder and carry them as he needed to carry them. So Wisconsin goes down, which is just kind of a combination of all the things that have gone wrong for the Big Ten, and I'm gonna make this point here shortly about the Big Ten, because I got this, this new segment that's gonna call Sentell's where I was stupid and where I was really, really smart. And that leads me to the Big Ten, where I was really, really stupid when I thought the Big Ten was the best conference in football, and they have been absolutely dreadful through the first 3 weeks of the season. And it just didn't start with Wisconsin. I mean, it's just been a barrage of bad losses after bad losses. Last week you had Kansas defeating Rutgers 55-14. Temple defeated Maryland 35-14. Troy goes into Lincoln and beats Nebraska. South Florida beats Illinois. Missouri beats Purdue. Purdue is 0-3. Akron defeated Northwestern. Northwestern is 1-2 after getting blown out by Duke last week. Arizona State previous week defeated Michigan State, who struggled a week before that against Utah State. Eastern Michigan defeated Purdue, who I mentioned, 0-3. So just a lot of bad things going on. Michigan has already lost to Notre Dame on the road. Michigan State, and we just mentioned them, they already lost. Penn State had a struggle a few weeks ago with Appalachian State, even though they seem to be righting themselves. So if I had to handicap it, I would say Ohio State and then Penn State. Other two best teams in the Big Ten, but as a whole, the conference is not as good as I thought it was going to be. So that's what Sentell was really, really stupid. Really, really stupid. So I mean, it's crazy how bad they've really been so far in this season. But there you have it. But I tell you some teams that look really, really good this week. Alabama looked really good. I don't need to tell you guys how good they look. I mean, over 60 points against an Ole Miss team. To hold that offense to 7 points, that is impressive. That is a really, really explosive offense. And to hold them to 7 points, that's I had my helmets. I had my helmets right here, and I don't have a big enough table because I want to put a big gap between everybody in Alabama. I want to put a huge gap right here, but my table won't allow it. But if I could, I would have 2 separate tables for Alabama on this side and everybody else on this side. That's how good they've been right now. I mean, you look at Alabama, you look at Ohio State, you look at Georgia, Oklahoma, and then you look at Clemson. I think Clemson has not played really well yet, but you look at those 5 teams. You think Bama, you think Georgia, Oklahoma. Those 3 teams, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Ohio State, have probably played the best football so far this season. Ohio State going on the road, that's huge, and not to mention the other 2 huge Ohio State wins were impressive, blowing opponents out that you should blow out. And Georgia has looked good going into a hostile environment against a rival. South Carolina 2 weeks ago and just punched them in the face. So if I had to rank it right now, I'd probably have Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Oklahoma, then Clemson. I know people say Clemson, but they haven't really played their best ball. And I know it's coming. I would assume that it's coming, that they're going to start playing their best football, but we haven't saw it yet. But it's early in the season. I think a lot of it to do with this, what a lot of it to do with this quarterback situation, because I'm telling you, it has never worked in the history of football to rotate quarterbacks, this amount. Florida had the Tebow with Chris Leak, but Chris Leak played the majority of the game, and Tebow only ran the ball. He was in there to run and get short yardage situation. They are basically running 2 different offenses for 2 different quarterbacks, and they think this is not going to be an issue. So keep playing with that fire. But that was the college after the weekend. Again, if you want to get in on this conversation about the college football weekend, you can. 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. Looking for some phone calls about this weekend in college football as well as the NFL, and we're going to get over to the NFL in just a second. A lot of good games. Again, recapping LSU over Auburn. 12 ranked LSU beat 7 ranked Auburn 22-21. Oklahoma State defeated Boise State 44-21. Ohio State over TCU 40-28. If you want to discuss some of the local team games, we can. Some cream puffs over the weekend. So, hey, moving on to week 4. Games coming up. Talk more about those as the week is now. FL action over the weekend. I mean, what a big day in the NFL. I mean, some exciting stuff going on in the NFL yesterday. Obviously, the biggest game of the day was down in Jackson. the rematch of the AFC Championship game, pitting the Patriots and the Jaguars, and the Jags just come out and just punch the Patriots in the mouth early and often. Blake Bortles had, I think, his best game ever as a professional. I mean, he was magnificent yesterday. 29 of 45 for 377, 4 TDs. Kenneth Cole was great yesterday. 7 catches for a buck, 16 and TD. And defensively, they just harassed Tom Brady all day. Patriots had no running game whatsoever. 31-20 Jags in a statement game to me. And this definitely was a statement game. You could tell by the players' emotions that this game meant something. You could tell by Blake Bortles' emotion that this game meant something for them, to get that taste out of their mouth from the AFC Championship game last year. But I just thought they dominated the game on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and you gotta wonder, before the move today with the Patriots, are they asking way too much of Tom Brady? And then the question, the answer is yes, way too much. They're asking out of Tom Brady, way too much. But the old line is suspect. They have no pass rushes on defense. Secondary is very, very vulnerable, as you saw yesterday. So, I mean, the Josh Gordon move is nice, but I think they're gonna need some other things as well to get this team to where they ultimately want to be. Back in another Super Bowl. So, Jags over New England, 31-20 yesterday, down in Jacksonville. Another big game yesterday. Vikings at Packers. A crazy game. Packers led most of the way, and I gotta tell you, I gotta say it. I mean, the call on Clay Matthews may be one of the worst calls I've ever seen in football. I mean, where are we going in football where you can't even you can't even hit the quarterback? You can't even hit him. I mean, he would have just been better off getting back there to him and laying on the ground. Because, I mean, he basically made a football play. You are taught to hit the quarterback when he releases the ball. He didn't even hit him maliciously. He just ran through him, hit him, football play. And they threw a flag, which ended up costing them the victory because on the play, Kirk Cousins throws a pick that would have ended the ball game, but it didn't. But Kirk goes out, leads Vikings down to a touchdown, get the 2-point version. They tie it up, go to overtime, and the Vikings get it all the way down, working all the way down into the Packer territory before the field goal kicker missed what would have been the game-winning kick. And that just leads me to how horrific field goal kicking was yesterday. We'll get to more in a minute. But this game, Kirk Cousins was outstanding yesterday. 35 of 48, 425 yards, 4 TDs, and he only threw 1 pick. But he was great yesterday. I mean, the Packers led 20-7 at halftime, and Vikings just didn't quit. Kirk Cousins just played really well. And then you had Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs both going over 100 yards. Both had a TD. Diggs had 2. So this Viking team offensively can do some things now to go along with this great defense. But it was a shame that the game ended in a tie. It was a shame that that call against Clay Matthews was made, because I just thought it was a terrible call. I really did. I thought it was a terrible call. And ultimately cost him the game. But the game ended in a tie, which we never want to see a game end in a tie, but it did. So Vikings Packers ended in a tie, 29-29. We're gonna move on to let's see here. Oh, another good one. Panthers at Falcons yesterday. I picked I picked the Falcons actually, so I did good. I thought they would come out and play really well after how disappointed they played um the previous Thursday against the Eagles. So Matt Ryan came out 23 of 38 for 272, 2 TDs through the air. He also ran for another one, so I thought he played really well. Tevin Coleman getting the bulk of the carries with Devontae Freeman being out, 16 carries for a $107. Kevin Ridley got his first touchdown yesterday on 4 catches for 64 yards. So Atlanta, team who needed to win, played like a team who needed to win. Played well in the absence of Keanu O'Neal and Deion Jones, both missed from the defense. Carolina, Cam didn't play horrible, but a lot of the yards he got were late in the game. They gotta find some a running game. I mean, the team itself only had 18 rushes, and I think Cam had half of those. So they gotta find a running game. 18 rushes is just not enough. That's not gonna get it. You can't beat a team and rushing the ball 18 times. So that means you're not. First of all, you're losing time possession because you don't have the ball because you're not establishing a running game. So, thought Cam played okay, but they got to find a running game. Good news for the Panthers. There was a DJ Moore sighting, had his first TD catch yesterday as a pro, but only caught one pass. It's the 51-yarder that he caught late. So again, got to get more at the running game, and they got to find some receivers to step up around Cam. But the Falcons get the win, 31-24. They are both now 1-1 in the NFC South. Let's go here. Won a game yesterday in Pittsburgh. Pat Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen. Pat Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen, has just broke the NFL record for the most amount of TD passes in the first 2 weeks of a season. He threw 6 TD passes yesterday. Check that. He threw 6 TD passes yesterday. At Highfield against the Steelers. He was brilliant yesterday. 23 of 28 for 326, 6 TDs, no INTs. I mean, they have some weapons now. With Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson. They got some Sammy Watkins now. They got some guys, and now they got a quarterback. When you get rid of check down Alex, I told you people in Washington to enjoy that, because there's a reason why you trade a quarterback, get rid of him when he's had some success for you, because he can only take you so far. And in this offense with these guys, you got to have a big arm quarterback, and boy, do they have one. Now, of course, he's not going to sustain this. He's not going to throw for 4 and 6 touchdowns every week. But you can go ahead and pencil them in for 2 or 3. With this offense, you can pencil them in for 2 or 3 a week. But I said the Chiefs' offense would be really good in the preseason. On the preview show, that's why I had to make the playoff. But the defense is not any good. So I just don't know how well they can do going forward with this defense as lousy as it is right now. But that leads me to the team across the other side of the field. I told you. This is what, we tying it all in. I said I was really stupid about the Big Ten. Here's where I was really, really smart. I told you Pittsburgh is a fraud. I told you the biggest circus in town, the biggest drama-filled team you would ever see in your life, and it's now starting to show. You had a couple weeks ago the offensive lineman turning on Le'Veon Bell. Big Ben wants to retire every other week. Antonio Brown stays on social media. Now he's getting into it with fans. It's just drama. And this defense has not improved. This defense is not improved at all. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's just bad, man. And that's been one of the problems. This Killer Bees era with Ben, Antonio, and Le'Veon, they're not gonna get nothing out of this group. Nothing. The window has closed. This team is not winning not winning the Super Bowl this year. They're not winning one next year. So that window has closed, and they have squandered three of the most talented people, triplets, in the NFL history. They had basically the best receiver in the league for the last 3-4 years. They basically had the best running back in the league for 3-4 years. They have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they've just wasted it. Absolutely squandered it. Wasted it. Because they couldn't find a defense. This defense hasn't been any good since the Super Bowl year. Maybe the year after. They lost to Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl. But that was a Troy Polamalu group. And Ryan Clark. But they haven't been any good. They just haven't been any good. And it looks bad on Mike Tomlin. I've been saying it for a couple of years now. They are a shit show right now. They should be 0-2. They are 0-1-1. They tied with the Browns, but they should be 0-2. They are just an absolute shit show, and I'm not surprised. That's why I'm not surprised. I've been telling you people for a while now. This team is just overhyped, overrated. A lot of talent offensively, but defensively they are a joke. They are a mess. Their best players are just head cases. They have rabbit ears. They hear everything that you say about them. So it's just bad. It's just bad all the way around. But Patrick Mahomes was special yesterday again. You could just see the talent. You see the talent in him, in his arm, all of that good stuff. So Chiefs knock off Steelers, who I told you when I made my pick last week that the Steelers always beat the Chiefs. But that was with Alex Smith, new sheriff in town. Patrick Mahomes says, nah, not on my watch. Not on my watch. Yo, I have a question right here. Is Syracuse good or is Florida State just that bad? I love Coach Dino Babers. Florida State is really, really bad. Like, really, really bad. On every aspect right now, they are bad. So I can't say Syracuse is good. We'll see throughout the weeks how good Syracuse is. But Florida State is bad. I'm talking about capital B, capital A, capital D, bad right now. And I told you guys in the offseason who is going to block for the quarterbacks, who are the receivers that are going to emerge in this offense. And so far, the running game has not been there because if you can't block, it doesn't matter who your quarterback is. It doesn't matter who your running backs are. It doesn't matter who the receivers are, even though they don't have any good receivers either. But the O-line is in shambles. Both sides of the line of scrimmage are terrible. And they got some talent. We think, because the last staff evaluated those guys, so they may have had some high-ranking guys, but those guys they don't look good at all. And Willie Taggart come out today and basically apologizes to Seminole Nation, saying that they're gonna get it fixed and they deserve a better football team. Which as a Florida fan, I absolutely love this dumpster fire that's happening. I could care less. I don't care about their problems, but they are bad. They are really bad. Florida is freaking horrible, bad. Michael Jackson bad. Let's get back to the NFL. Going through some of the NFL games that we left off for Pittsburgh and Kansas City. But remember, if you want to get in, lines are open. 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. If you want to get in on this conversation, you can. You got college football. Josh going to the Patriots. MLB is independent races. And NFL, obviously, we got a game just kicked off between Seattle Seahawks. Let's see. Who are the Seahawks playing? I forgot who they were playing. The Bears. That's what I thought it was. They playing the Bears. Seahawks and Bears right now on Monday Night Football. If you care about that, Braves are already down 3-0 into the Cardinals, which is not good. It's not good at all. Someone gets in and say, I love the style of football Syracuse play. They did beat Clemson last year. That is true. I mean, when Dino Babers can get that up tempo offense going, get that thing rolling a little bit, they can do some things offensively. But what made it bad yesterday for Saturday for Florida State, they was in their backup quarterback. They didn't even lose to Dungeon. They lost to some guy I don't even know. I don't even know the guy they put in yesterday, Saturday for Dungeon. I don't even know who it was, and they still were able to move the ball. Control the line of scrimmage. That's when you know, like I saw it 2 weeks ago with us, and that's when you know you've fallen off as a program, when you start getting beat in the trenches by certain teams. When you get manhandled up front by certain teams, that's when you know. You know, sometimes you lose on some trick plays to some lesser opponents. Some bad snaps on a punt or a kick, block kick. That's some just weird stuff. But when you get beat up front, get manhandled, get mauled up front, get ran on, and then teams can stop you from running, that's when you know. That's when you know. And they got dominated up front. I mean, this game was just laughable. Laughable. It was late in the fourth quarter before Florida State even scored. So, yeah, I like Dino Babers. I'm a huge fan of Dino Babers. You wonder, can he ever get the really quality, enough talent up there to where you can actually compete to win ACC titles. I mean, I heard the AD and the president all say it's the right things. We want to get this program to that level. Can you recruit those type of players in Syracuse to get you to that level? I don't think I've heard that. Question was, why is Taggart on the hot seat more than Scott Frost? I don't see that. Well, Frost has only played 2 games, but I don't see that. I think it's equal. I think it's more on Florida State because they've been better recently. This program at Florida State has been better than Nebraska has been bad for over 20 years now. They've been mediocre for a long time now. So they know that this is a long-term fix. I think the problem with Florida State, they saw it as, we got rid of Jimbo left, but most FSU people thought, oh, he just left. We got a bunch of talent, and we can get a coach in here who wants to be here, then we're going to be fine. So now it's like, whoa. And they look pathetic. I mean, they look pathetic. Like, they don't even look like a college football. They look pathetic, man. I mean, they can't do anything good. The blocking scheme is terrible. But that's on the coaching too, because if you see you can't block, you gotta stop those 5-step drops, and you gotta get more 2 tight end sets. I know that limits your offense, limits the things you want to do, but the first thing you have to do to be successful at any level in football, you have to be able to block. So they're gonna have to block. So however you want to do it, 2 tight ends, you're going to have to start blocking just to run the simplest things, because you might want to strap all that extravagant play calling you have going until you can be able to block someone, which is seemingly the problem. But I don't think it's more of a hot seat thing. I mean, both of them guys in the first year, neither one would get fired after the first year. They got a bunch of money tied to their contract. I mean, Willis getting like $24 million the next 6 years, I believe, or 4 years or something. So, I mean, you're not firing these guys after 1 year. So, I don't think either is on the hot seat. People just want instant gratification. That's the world we live in. We want instant gratification. That's our society now. We're not patient at all. So, but you're going to have to be patient, because we fall into a trap as fans that thinking these programs we program to think we just reload. And, we see these good teams, they're just good every year. But when you get bad, really bad, you got to rebuild. So it's going to take time. It's definitely going to take more time in Nebraska than it is Florida State, because you still got that recruiting base down there. But, for me, I could care less. I don't wish bad for Willie Taggart, but I wish bad for Florida State. So, I mean, I feel bad for Willie, not for Florida State. Not at all. Not in a little bit. So let's get back to this NFL. Let's see. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll talk about that Browns Saints game yesterday. What a crazy game. What a crazy game that was yesterday between the Browns and the Saints. Um, the Browns led most of the way, and they played outstanding, especially defensively. They held the Saints to 275 yards with the offense. Got a phone call here. Yes, caller.
Hi.
I gotta get that fixed, man. I gotta get that fixed. I gotta get that fixed, man. Gotta get that fixed. Uh, yeah, need a call ID. Anyway, Browns, Saints, 21-18. Saints end up winning the game, but I mean, if you watch the game, you know that the Browns outplayed the Saints all day. Again, holding them to hold that offense in New Orleans to 275 yards of offense total. If you look at the game, the Browns led 12-0. They led 12-0 after 3 quarters. But the kicker had already missed 2 extra points. That's why the game was 12-0. Instead of being 14, should have been 14-0. But Zane Gonzalez is his name. He's already been fired today. I mean, I felt bad watching it live. Like you just feel bad for that guy, right? I mean, because his career is dying right in front of you. You watch a man lose his livelihood on TV. Like you knew he was fired as soon as the game was over, because that's how bad he was. I mean, he missed the 2 extra points. He misses a big field goal. The extra point after they tied the game with a great pass from Tyrod Taylor to Antonio Callaway. What a beautiful throw and catch that was. They tied the game up at 18-18. You think you got the chip shot extra point coming up, and he misses the extra point wide left. So it's tied up 18-18. And then did I miss that? I missed something, didn't I? Then he had a chance at the end of the 4th quarter to tie it up at 21 after the Browns did a great job of driving into field goal range. Has a chance to tie it up 21-21 and send it to overtime, and he misses wide right. And it was just horrible to watch. It was just horrible to watch that man go out there and just, I mean, he just self-destructed right in front of your face. It was awful. It was awful. Hard to watch Zane Gonzalez get fired. And I mentioned kickers. I mean, in the Vikings fired their kicker Carson, who was really good last year at Auburn. They fired him for missing. He missed a couple kicks yesterday. Zane Gonzalez missed a couple kicks. I'm missing somebody else. I'm missing somebody. Well, the Rams lost their kicker because he got hurt. But so a lot of activity in the kicker market today. So see how that goes as we move forward. But Saints end up pulling the game out, but the Browns had a chance to win a game again. Last week they should have beat Pittsburgh, had a chance to hit a field goal that gets blocked. This week they up throughout the game, and this guy misses 4 field goals, 2 extra points. So hey, I just feel bad for Hugh Jackson. I really do. I feel horrible for Hugh Jackson. I thought the Cowboys, he asked him about the Cowboys defense. I thought the Cowboys defensively played really well, but I mean, the Giants are not a very good offensive team. I go back to Florida State when I say if you can't block up front, it doesn't matter what you have offensively. The Giants have some good weapons offensively. They have Evan Ingram. They have Saquon Barkley. They have Odell Beckham Jr. They have the kid in the slot from Oklahoma. God, I can't think of names. They have Shepard. And it doesn't matter. If you cannot block, it does not matter. Eric Flowers may be one of the worst offensive linemen I've ever seen in my life. They moved him from left tackle over to right, and it has not helped anything. Nothing. They sacked Eli 6 times. We're gonna talk about that game in just a second. They sacked Eli Manning 6 times yesterday. I mean, so but the Dallas Cowboys, I think the defense is improved. I think Dallas defense is much improved, but I can't gather much from playing a really lousy offensive team in New York. Carolina's offense is limited, but I think their defense has. I think the Dallas defense has improved. I like them up front, the linebackers, but I don't like the secondary as much. But I think they are improved. But I'm not gonna sit here and cry them after they beat the Giants. The Giants offensively, and it starts with the offensive line. I mean, it amazes me how many teams have such bad offensive line play because we know the importance of it, but do we really truly value the importance of the offensive line play? I mean, how do you let your offensive line get that bad? Is beyond me, and they're just pathetic. I mean, bad. You can't do anything. This team is terrible. So yeah, that Cowboys game last night. I say they sacked Eli 6 times. They only allowed the Giants to rush for 35 yards. You're not beating anybody rushing the ball for 35 yards. You're just not doing it. You're not doing it at all. Giants get the win. I mean, Cowboys get the win 20-13. Like I said, they held the Giants 35-yard rush and they sacked Eli 6 times. But I mean, offensively, Dallas was just. I mean, they only had 298 yards of offense. Dak throws the long bomb early in the game, but other than that, I mean, it was dink and dunk and dink and dunk. I mean, again, if you can take away Zeke, Zeke ended up having a decent game, but not the dynamic game that he's capable of having. This offense is still is still running the mill. It's still a basic offense, and you're just not gonna beat any good teams when your quarterback throws for 160 yards. This is no way you're beating anybody who's good with a quarterback throwing the ball for 160 yards. 160 yards. And they won. And they won. And they won. 160 yards and they won. So Cowboys get the win over the Giants. Giants now 0-2. And I don't see much changing for them. I really don't. Moving on to a surprising game yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers knocked off the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, and of course, the story is about Ryan Fitzpatrick. 27 of 33 for 404 yards and 4 TDs. No, I mean he is looking outstanding in his offense. But again, I told you there's no expectations on Ryan Fitzpatrick, so he'll do this right now because there's no expectations on him. His job was to come in, fill in for Jameis till Jameis gets back. So there's no expectations on him. But he's doing great. I'm knocking him out. I like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Harvard guy. I'm not knocking him. But he was great yesterday. I mean, but he's getting Deshaun Jackson involved. He got Chris Goodwin. He's Godwin. And you know about Mike Evans. Now you get OJ Howard in this offense. This offense has playmakers on it. If the quarterback makes the right decisions and can process information, he can be successful with this team because they have built it offensively for Jameis to be successful, and he hasn't been successful. I don't know what's going to happen long term. I think Fitz will stay in there. Even when Jameis comes back, he will, unless he plays his way out of the position, which, again, he won't because he's going to be playing with house money. He knows that I'm only here because I was supposed to be a backup. So even if I play well, it's fine. If I don't, I don't. But there's no pressure on Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not the franchise quarterback. He's not getting paid a bunch of money. So there's no pressure. He can play free and loose. And you saw the stunt he pulled yesterday when he comes to the press conference dressed like Conor McGregor. I thought it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes are your early MVP candidates, right? Fitz has 8 touchdowns. Mahomes has 10. So those are your MVP candidates early in the season. But Tampa upsets Philadelphia. Big news out of Philadelphia today is Carson Wentz has been cleared, and he will start in week 3 for the Eagles. Again, I think the Eagles will be fine. I thought they would win yesterday, but they'll be fine. They get Ashton Jeffrey back. Once they get him back, and get Carson Wentz up to speed, and you shake that hangover. I still think they win the division. I mean, you look at the division. The Giants are no good. Washington loses to the Colts yesterday at home. They got checked down Alex. The Cowboys putrid offensively. The Eagles still gonna win this division. So there's that. Rest of the scores, well, a few of the scores I go through. The Miami Dolphins are now 2-0 after they beat the Jets yesterday. Sam Darnold kind of looked like a rookie yesterday, throwing a couple picks, but the Dolphins 2-0. Adam Gase and the Dolphins 2-0. Denver comes back to beat Oakland in the fourth quarter, and John Groom, ladies and gentlemen, John Groom, right? So John Gruden, because they blew a fourth quarter lead, and at the press conference, John Gruden says out loud that we could have sure used a pass rush in that fourth quarter. I know a guy. I know a guy. I know a guy who can really rush the passer and can get out of the quarterback and was a former defensive player of the year. I know a guy. I know a guy. He played for the Raiders. He played for the Raiders. And he says after the game, we need to find a consistent pass rush. You can't make this up, right? You can't make this up. I can't make this up. We need a consistent pass rush. And you trade the former defensive player who sacks the quarterback at a high level, who has like over 40 plus sacks in 4 seasons. But that's neither here nor there. But the Broncos come back and beat the Raiders 2019. Case Keenum led the comeback and the win over the Raiders yesterday. The Titans defeated the Texans yesterday, 2017, without Marcus Mariota, and Blaine Gabbert played yesterday, and some other kid played yesterday. I don't know what to think of the Texans. I really don't know what to think of them. And our offensive line is woeful. They cannot block. And again, I cannot say this enough. How do you allow your offensive line to get so bad? And the Texans are one of those teams whose offensive line is really, really bad. Bad. Michael Jackson bad. That's how bad their offensive line has been. So the Texans' offensive line is horrible. Can't protect Deshaun Watson. They can't run the ball. Somehow the Texans win this game. I mean, again, no Marcus Mariota yesterday. And they still beat the Texans. So I can't pick the Texans out. A lot of people have the Texans winning this division or making the playoffs. I had them in the playoffs, and right now they're 0-2, and they can't get out of their own damn way. But the offensive line is horrific. It's horrific, bad. The 49ers defeated the Detroit Lions yesterday, 30-27. Actually led 30-13 after the third quarter, so allowed Detroit to get back into the game. Jimmy G played okay. I didn't think he was great yesterday. He played okay. He didn't throw no picks, but 2 TD passes. Did find a little bit of a running game yesterday with Matt Breida, going over 100 yards. Had a long of 66 yards, so that was good to see. So Niners get the 1-1. Detroit falls to 0-2. Matthew Stafford did some good things, but they got down again 30-13. So they come back, falls a little short. So Niners beat the Detroit Lions. Say the last game, the Rams just absolutely just dismantle. I mean, dismantle the Arizona Cardinals. I'm talking 34-0. 34-0. I mean, you just don't hardly see NFL teams just getting blanked. And the Cardinals had zero chance yesterday. Zero chance yesterday. I mean, zero chance of beating this team. This team is so legit right now. Barring injury, knock on wood, because I don't want to see that hurt. I picked them to win the division. I didn't pick them to actually go to the Super Bowl, which is surprising. But, I mean, this team is so full of talent. It has so much depth of talent. Again, barring injuries, this team They look to be the real deal. A lot of people have them going to the Super Bowl, and I cannot. They have showed you the first 2 weeks. There's no reason not to believe that they are going to the Super Bowl. 34-0 over Arizona. Todd Gurley had 3 TDs. Brandon Cooks got loose yesterday. Made some plays in the passing game. Jared Goff looked comfortable yesterday. I mean, they just look explosive offensively, and then defensively. Oh my goodness. Aaron Donalds, Dominican Sue, Talib, Marcus Peters. Man, they are really, really good. Meanwhile, Arizona, I got something to tell you. I got something you need to hear. I'm going to whisper it to y'all. Whisper it. Get Sam Bradford the fuck out of there. He is no good. He has never been any good. He has robbed a lot of teams of their money. So get his ass out of there. Which now I'm gonna say I'm a Josh Rosen guy, so that's not for my own personal benefit. I'm saying this. I think it's due time for Sam for Josh Rosen to be in there. Sam Bradford is like I said, he's god awful. But he's not just all the problem that they have. That team has a lot of problems. Arizona's a really bad football team. I mean, other than David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. Is he starting to show signs of his age, or is just bad quarterback play? I don't know how bad Arizona really is, but they look bad. Arizona looks really, really bad. But the Rams look the part of a team that can definitely get the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. I mean, that's how good they look right now. Sean McVay is doing a fantastic job. So keep a lookout for the Rams. Oh, I missed the game. The Chargers defeated the Bills. Okay, which leads us to a crazy story yesterday for the Bills. Chargers won. Phillip was 23 or 27 for 256 yards, 3 TDs. Melvin Gordon scored 3 TDs yesterday. But it leads us to a crazy story. At halftime of this game, Vontae Davis, the cornerback of the Buffalo Bills, apparently retired during the halftime. He retired during the halftime. Apparently, he took himself out of the game at halftime and left. Like, he didn't come back out for the second half. He took his uniform off and left the premises. Now, look, I have no issue with you saying, I have no issues. Say I'm done. I can't play anymore. I suck. I get it. I can't do it anymore. But this could have been handled so much better. I mean, you shower up, you tell the coaches, look, man, I'm washed up. Literally. I can't play anymore. Take your clothes off, shower, come back and stand on the sideline. Then after the game, you get to the podium, you say, I'm retiring. That would have been the way to handle it. So just a weird story with Vontae Davis. And his teammates let him have it. I mean, obviously, he quit in the middle of battle. Like, you left your teammates high and dry. I mean, you could have just been out there for support, if anything. I mean, again, you didn't have to go in the game, but just to leave in the middle of a game, thought that was just a bad look on Vontae Davis. But the Chargers beat the Bills. They did start Josh Allen yesterday for the Bills. Looked like a rookie. Did some good things and some bad things. This roster is horrible. Bills, Arizona. Yeah, I'm pretty. That the Bills and Arizona. Those are the 2 worst teams in the league. I feel like those are the 2 worst teams. 2 worst teams in the league, man. They are horrible. They rosters. The Bills roster is horrible. Their best receiver is Kevin Benjamin. That's your roster is horrible. If Kevin Benjamin is your best receiver, and then yesterday I think LaShawn McCoy got hurt. I don't know how hurt he is, but he got banged up a little bit yesterday. So. They are bad. Somebody say I think it's time for Baker Mayfield. Not yet. I think Tyrod has did okay. Now if he goes out this weekend, stinks up the joint and looks bad, I can see that move coming sooner rather than later. There would be no other point not to make that move. I mean, I thought that. Which he led me. They should have won yesterday, and they could have possibly won game 1. So I don't think he done anything to lose the job. But he goes out there and play bad. this weekend, I can see them making that. I can see them making that move for sure to get Baker in there. Um, so we shall see how that goes for the Browns. But I think that Tyrod should remain the starter. Mm. Yeah, the Vikings. Yeah, Vikings. They did sign Dan Bailey, former Pro Bowl kicker for the Cowboys. So I'm sure his phone was ringing off the hook yesterday after some of those kicking performances yesterday. So he signs with the Vikings. So I'm sure he fielded calls from the Rams, Vikings, and the Browns. He definitely told the Browns, hell no, hung up real fast. I'm shocked he didn't go to the Rams, but maybe their kicker gonna come back before the season over with. But Vikings is a good fit. I mean, obviously a really good team that gonna contend for a playoff spot. So I see that. Uh, yeah. I mean, again, he asked. He's talking about the Cowboys cornerbacks and aggressive defensively. Again, I think they are much improved defensively, no doubt. Finally, the Cowboys are much improved defensively, but they got some issues offensively. They have some really 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 bad issues offensively. Your quarterback cannot be throwing for 160 yards in this league, and you think you're gonna win games? No way. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome into the show. If you're just not tuning in, you know what it is. Sentell, right here live on YouTube. The hottest sports podcast in the South, the best damn sports podcast, period. I'm the sensational Sentell Whiteman, talking NFL, college football, Patriots trade for Josh Gordon. Carson Wentz is back. He's going to start this week. Anything else we've covered that you want to cover, you can. 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. You know what it is, man. I'm in here. I'm going to be back right here tomorrow. And we'll have some other things to discuss tomorrow as well. Kind of look ahead to some of those games from the NFL and college football for week 4 of college and week 3 of the NFL. And we also have real news, fake news tomorrow. Hopefully a couple guests, not a couple, at least one guest for tomorrow. That's what the plan is for the rest of the week right here on the show. Let's see, what did I miss? Hey, a potential. Oh, I had a big fight this week. We had a big fight this weekend. Canelo Alvarez took on Triple G for the second time, and Canelo Alvarez came out on top in a majority decision over Triple G, in which was a really, really good fight. I thought Triple G won the first fight. This fight looks more of a draw than the actual first fight, which they gave to Canelo. So I think these guys are really evenly matched. And neither one's gonna ever knock the other ones out because both these guys have chins that's made of stone and they can take a punch. They can take punches, but both are really skilled. Canelo is the younger fighter, so I think he can go on and do more big things in his career. Triple G is kind of at the end of his career. He's getting a little older, so maybe they fight again, maybe they don't fight again. But either way, salute to those guys for having such a great fight this weekend. Anytime you can get a really good fight, really good boxing matches, it's always good. If you haven't heard, there's news of a potential Mayweather Pacquiao 2. I'm not personally interested in it, but I'm sure that if they do fight, people will want to watch it. Both guys are way over their hill, way out of their prime, especially Manny, even though he's a little younger than Floyd, but his skills have certainly diminished. And Floyd is not Money Mayweather anymore. So, but if they want to get in there and do the thing, I'll sign up for that, and I'll watch it because I can. I mean, I shouldn't say that out loud. I didn't say that out loud. Yeah, I'll definitely pay for it. I'll definitely pay for it on pay-per-view if the fight does come. I think December is the date they're looking at. So maybe they fight, maybe they don't. I don't know. Yeah. But if you want to get in before I get out of here, 864-378-5943. 864-378-5943. Sentell right here on YouTube. And for a few seconds, maybe get some phone call, maybe get some text. I had a new feature I want to show. I had this cool little graphic I want to show, but since nobody texts, see, I had a cool little graphic right there I was going to show. You can see your text message. You can see your actual chat right there. Other people can see your chat if you're going to chat, but no one took advantage of the situation and chatted. So, that's where we are. I don't, so I was going to, let you guys see that new feature, but no one chatted. So, hey, maybe the next show, maybe tomorrow, we'll get some of that. We'll get some of that going. Well, I'm gonna get out of here because it's been fun. It's been real fun. Check what time it is. Check me out tomorrow night, man. We'll be back for another edition of Sentell right here live on YouTube. You know who I am, the sensational Sentell Whiteman. I will see you guys tomorrow. I am out.